Hi traders, I'm going to talk to you about how you can make money while you sleep from the financial markets. My name's Crispin. I'm the founder of FX Algo Trader, which I set up in 2009. Since then I've developed a range of trading tools for mainly foreign exchange traders. The objective of this video is to really just talk to people who may not have had any experience trading financial markets and just explain some basic principles of how one would go about trying to make money while you're not actually looking at screens, etc. So this is a kind of a hands-off, delayed or planned entry system. So first of all, let's talk about how you would do that. What you can see here on the screen is an application called MetaTrader. It's a trading platform which is written by a company called MetaQuotes, which is a Russian business. They started out life in about 2000, and the version of MetaTrader you can see here is called MetaTrader 4. MetaTrader 4 is white labeled by MetaQuotes. That means it's supplied to an awful lot of brokers, and the brokers effectively badge it up with their own logos. So the one here you can see is from FXCM, which is a large broker, and you'll no doubt find plenty of brokerages offering MetaTrader across the world. There are two currently shippable variants of MetaTrader. One is MetaTrader 4, which has been around for quite a long time, which is very popular, and there's an awful lot of third-party tools available for MetaTrader 4, and MetaTrader 5, which is a fairly new release which has not been widely taken up by the market due to its lack of backward compatibility with existing MetaTrader 4 tools. There's also issues regarding FIFO compliance, which is to do with the American legislation about not allowing hedging. So certainly outside America, MetaTrader 4 is very prolific still. So the version I'm going to talk about today is MetaTrader 4. What MetaTrader 4 allows you to do is to look at a whole variety of different instruments. So they can range from foreign exchange, so currency pairs, through to commodities like oil, gold, etc., and metals. And also you can trade exchanges as well. So for example, the FTSE 100 or the Nikkei 225, Hang Seng, all that kind of stuff. So you've got a choice of what you want to try and trade on. What I'm going to do here is talk pretty much about currencies, and what we're really looking to do with a sort of a hands-off delayed entry approach to trading is we're looking for trends basically. Markets tend to spend a lot of time trending and not too much time consolidating. So if you look here, this is the euro dollar exchange rate, and this is a daily chart, so it means that each one of these candles represents 1 day of price action. And you can see over a period of time, we're going back March 2015, we've seen some pretty strong trends developing. The market was broadly in an uptrend here, and we then saw a little bit of consolidation, and then it went into a downtrend. And all I'm doing here is I'm drawing a trend line through what we call swing high points or swing low points. And these are clearly defined areas where a new high or a new low is created. And these actually create opportunities for us. So by drawing trend lines through these levels, we can get an idea of where may be a good idea to enter the market. What we can also do is look at support and resistance levels. And what that means is, I'll show you exactly what that is. So traders use something called pivots, and I'm going to load up 3 different pivots packages which we've been marketing for quite a long time. So I'm going to load up a daily pivots package, a monthly pivots package, and also a weekly pivots package. And what these pivot levels do is they give you an idea of potential turning points in the market. So we can see here on this euro dollar chart, let's zoom into the hourly time frame. If you look at what we've got here, this is obviously today. We saw price action coming up and testing this WR3, which is a weekly resistance level. And look at what happened yesterday. You got almost a pip perfect touch on this resistance level. So how do you trade all this, you ask? Well, you don't want to be sitting around watching these things happen and watching real-time price action, really. It's a bit of a waste of time. But if you plan your trades and you plan where you want to enter and exit the market, things get a lot simpler. So over the last 3 or 4 years, we've developed a range of trading tools which are orientated around trend lines. So what I'm going to do is I'll just walk you through those quickly. Let's just go to our website, and we have a range of trendline trading systems. The basic system is called Iridium, and Iridium is a pretty straightforward system. It allows you to essentially just set command parameters on a trend line. And what does that mean? So let's go back into MetaTrader. So if I wanted to, for example, trade that WR3 resistance level, so yesterday I'd have just simply drawn a line using a trend line on the chart, set it at WR3. It can be completely horizontal if you wish, and I'd right click on that line and click properties, sorry, not like that, trendline properties. And all I need to do, if I wanted that trend line to be set up to automatically trade when price action touched it, was to give the trend line a description of sell and the number of pips I want to risk, which is called a stop loss. So let's say 20 pips, and I then need to define the number of lots I want to trade. So I could trade half a lot. So if that trend line was hit yesterday, the system would have automatically opened a short or a sell trade with those parameters. The other system that we have is called Gold, and Gold's a bit more sophisticated than Iridium. Iridium's our basic system. Gold allows you to do a little bit more in terms of the trading functionality. So it's got 8 trading modes rather than 4. So in Gold you can buy a dip in an uptrend or test of support. You can buy a break, so that's where price action touches an area of resistance. You can buy break close in a defined range, so that's where price action breaks above an area and then closes in a defined range which the trader sets, and so on. You can read about all these on the website. So that's the Gold system, and the latest, well, it's not quite the latest, in fact. We're releasing a new system shortly, but the current flagship product is called Platinum. This is pretty sophisticated because it uses a Java interface to control the actual parameters within the system. And Platinum has got an awful lot more functionality. It's got 12 trading types of behavior, all sorts of filtering and oscillators and all that kind of stuff. Plus also it's in plain English rather than a sort of a strange hieroglyphic kind of code which you have to learn with other systems. I'll give you a quick demo of what we're doing now with, this is a new system we've got called Platinum 16, and this uses a little Java FX interface, which is the latest version of Java. So what I'll do is I'll show you exactly how that works. I'll show you a trade being opened as well. So let's look at this sterling chart we've got here. This is an hourly chart. Let's just go down to a lower time frame, and you can see these areas here of, this is a resistance level around here, WR3, which is our weekly resistance level, and price action is struggling a little bit. So what we might like to do is potentially put a sell based trade if price action comes up and tests this high again. So in order to do that, all I've got to do is load up what's called an expert advisor, and this comes with the product. And the expert advisor is a little program. It's called Platinum 16. I just load that onto this chart. You can see here it's in the top right hand corner, it's got FXA Platinum 16 with a smiley face. That means it can automatically trade. Now if I click on that trend line, you can see it's been picked up automatically by the Platinum 16 control interface, and at the moment there's no parameters on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my chart and click show object descriptions, and now I'm going to set this trend line up to be a touch-based trade behavior, and I want it to sell when price action comes close to this line. And let's just make this a bit bigger so you can all see this clearly. Okay, so what we can see here is the system has created levels on our chart. This is what we call a trigger grid. So we've got at the moment a stop loss level, which is where the trade will be closed automatically, and that's pretty close to our entry level, and that's way too close for foreign exchange. 5 pips is not big enough. So I go over here to this stop loss spinner, and I'm just adjusting this up to 28, 30 pips. So it gives the position room to breathe. But in the same way, we want to control our risk reward, and what that means is that if we risk 30 pips, or 29 pips in this case, we want to make sure that our profit level is satisfactory to make sure our risk reward is suitable. And so we may want to make our risk reward equal 1 to 1, so we risk 30 to make 30 pips, or we can obviously set that to more if we want. So I can adjust this out to a lower level if I think that the price action may reject from this level properly. And I can also define the number of lots I want to trade with the spinners here, and the sensitivity of how price action behaves when it hits the line. At the moment you can see a little dotted line here, and this represents a 1 pip channel around the trend line where price action must enter in order for the trade to execute. So if I increase the sensitivity level to say 3 pips, you can see the actual channel has just moved down a bit. It's got broader. That means that if price action comes in and tests this area here inside the channel, then the trade will be triggered. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deliberately force a trade by moving the channel out a bit. So let's keep moving it, and as soon as price action comes into our channel, you'll see a trade being executed. And see there? And down at the bottom of the screen here in the terminal window, you can see a trade has come up with short touch 12930, and 12930 is the trend line number which the trade was triggered from. You can see here it's got sell touch, lots equals 1, and it's automatically configured the stop loss and take profit levels for us. So you don't need to be around when this happens. You can be doing something else, sleeping, whatever, working. This tool will allow you to trade the markets independently. All you've got to do is have a MetaTrader account, have an automated trendline trading system. It doesn't have to be the platinum variants. It could be gold or iridium if you don't want to spend that much money. And if if you understand the principles behind support and resistance, what pivot levels are, and how to draw some basic trend lines, then you stand a fighting chance of being able to actually make money while not actually participating directly, i.e. doing loads of screen time and watching the screens all the time. In many ways, from my experience, I've found that you can make more money from actually trading less and just being very specific about where you want to enter and exit the market. That's what we found over a period of time. The more you try and get amongst it, and the more busy you get with your trading in terms of being, hyperactive, it almost becomes self-defeating. So being super patient, and these systems allow you to be super patient, allows you to really kind of get some very smart entries into the market. In the same way, looking at commodities, this is obviously the WTI, which is the American crude oil, and obviously in the last few months oil has been selling off very aggressively, but seems to have found a degree of support around the 30 level. And you can see here this downtrend here got broken fairly recently, and we're into sort of arguably a period of consolidation and possibly the beginnings of an uptrend. But it is somewhat sketchy, but we've done pretty well here from trading on the upside, actually looking for basically tests of these levels here, the 30 level, the 29s. These are very psychological levels, and yeah, using an automated system can really can really kind of give you some opportunities. So I hope that is useful for you. You can find out lots more about this stuff on the website, which is www.fxalgotrader.com, and feel free to contact us, info@fxalgotrader.com. Thanks for watching.